Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA.
Ocala.
Ocala, baby, what makes you look so good? Ocala, baby, what makes you look so good? Why don't you love me like I know you could?
All right, 7 minutes after 10 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in this Friday morning. The effervescent and beautiful Kelly Hart is in the studio to bring you another edition, not episode, edition of Ocala Magazine Radio. Good morning, Kelly. How you doing?
Good morning. How are you?
Pretty good. How's everything in your world, in the world of publishing?
Wonderful.
Is your hair redder today?
I don't know. No, it is.
It is, a little redder.
It is.
A little
It's
redder.
a little redder.
See,
This is a process.
Oh, really?
It's a process. Or it maybe just looks more colorful because I have Jesse with me this morning.
Jesse's hair looks a little
Possibly.
redder, too, than last time.
It might be. It changes, although they just really, it's
Their creative in us.
It's a journey,
We
not a
keep things-
destination.
There you go. There you go. And you remember Jessie Miller. She's the
Sure.
creative director at Ocala Magazine. She's been with me several times. And the reason that I wanted her to come specifically today was because the arts issue has finally made its way to the community. And, Jessie's an artist. I'm an artist. The issue is phenomenal. It's full of all things art. And one specific article that Jessie wrote was kind of a social experiment, kind of a personal, I'll let her explain it a little bit more, but it's a really phenomenal look into the value of art and the way people see art versus what they're willing to spend on art. So it was quite an interesting concept. So thanks, Jessie, for being here this morning. And then I'll let her kind of give you the backstory on how this whole thing came to be.
Sure. So, yeah, that's the thing. How much is art worth at any given time? I think the highest priced painting went for, I don't know, $200 and something million recently. And under that, they're really a lot lower. They're in the 2-digit millions on average, like these Picassos and, famous paintings. They're just, but then here we are in town and we're looking at, $10, $20, $2,000, whatever it is, right? It's a lower local artist, and there's so many of them all over the country. And pricing your art is sort of a controversial thing, and then how much should you pay for art if you're an appreciator is kind of a controversial thing. And it's like, what does it mean to you? What is it worth? What is the hard cost? There's just so much to that. And artists are starving. That's the only profession that has that word in front of it. So they may not literally be, but it's definitely a
close.
It's
close.
definitely
No
a
starving
thing.
publishers? No starving,
They don't talk about, I don't know, starving carpenters or
starving writers?
well, writers are artists, so they might be. There's definitely starving musicians. I've known a lot of those, but so anyways. But there, my perception out there, you're comfortable with paying to go to a concert. You're comfortable with buying a book. You're comfortable with spending money on most art, buying a CD, buying an MP3, a movie, et cetera, going to the theater. You're going to spend the money to get in. But when you see an art show, it's usually free. Mm-hmm. You might make a donation to a museum, and the museum has to kind of keep themselves running. But it's the show itself, the art, is really on display for free. And it just didn't really make sense to me. And I'm really good friends with Dr. Leslie Hammond, who was the curator here at the Appleton, and she's an appraiser of art globally right now in America and everything. She's doing lots of really big things. And I was talking with her, and she said, ultimately, art is worth what someone is willing to pay for it.
And we had we had the conversation, and we've probably had it numerous times, but specifically as we were getting ready to put together ideas for the arts issue, and we were having conversation based on that, and then likewise, us being artists, it came up one day, how do you price your art, and why do artists always have such a hard time asking the price that we know that our art is worth? Just like any other product, there's time involved, and there's materials involved, and then there's the skill and the talent that goes into it. And it's not just something anybody can do, but for some reason, people are very comfortable either saying, will you take this for it, less for it, almost like the yard sale kind of bargaining concept when it comes to artwork, or this idea, I could do that. I could make that myself. Look, what is that? Oh, it's a speck on a canvas, or it's whatever it is, without even realizing what art even truly means, or the fact that the artist product is no different than if I were to go in right here into the mall and say, I love that shirt, but would you take less for it? Or, I mean, it's such this weird idea because it doesn't happen with anything else. It doesn't happen anywhere else where you just go in and you say, and plus it's always the idea of art with it being an original. I mean, sure, I can go to the car lot and try to bargain with them and get a car for a little less than maybe I wanted to spend or what they're asking. But we're talking about something that's mass produced and not even unique in nature. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to an original piece of art that is beautiful, it's unique, there's emotion behind it, people somehow are very comfortable with just saying, well, would you take this for it? Or, whatever it might be. And I think what we talked about was the fact that maybe it's a luxury because people feel like it's not something they need, but just something that's beautiful or makes them feel good. They feel guilty spending X amount of dollars. So if they can get it for less, they feel a little bit maybe better about splurging on something that way. Yeah. So Jessie had a bunch of artwork that she has done over the years, and it was a beautiful, beautiful collection, and kind of came up with this idea of a process of being able to do this experiment while selling her artwork, and then so I'll let her explain exactly how the whole process worked.
Sure. I like to just sort of credit this little girl who kind of was the catalyst to it all, other than Leslie's quote of art is worth exactly what anyone will pay for it. But I was painting, and my boyfriend's daughter, she's really cute and small, and she's like, oh, that's really cool. Where are you going to put it? And my head, I didn't answer this out loud, but immediately my head was, in storage. Because that's where my paintings end up, because I don't have enough wall space and I'm not selling them and I'm just not even showing anyways. So that's sort of like, what is it really worth to me then, even if is it a piece of inventory that's just in storage and everything. And that combined with what Leslie Hammond had said about art being worth basically what someone is willing to pay for it. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna sell all of it and everybody just gets to name their price. And I don't care. I'm letting go of it. If it's zero, it's zero. If somebody walks in off the street, really loves something, only has $1, no one else wants it, awesome, it's going. Because that is, in that moment, what it's worth. Like, I know you could take it somewhere else and put it in a different context and put some hype around it. It might be worth a lot more. But in that moment, that's going to be what it's worth. And at any given moment, that's all art ever is worth, I guess. It's sort of this experiment to see what would happen. And nothing like this would be fun for me if I wasn't sharing it with a charity or doing something, because I really didn't want it to be about, please give me money for my art. I really just wanted to see what people would do. So I shared all of this with the Ocala Symphony Orchestra, the proceeds. So basically, I just let go of my paintings, 50 some paintings. But it's fine because they really were in storage, and a lot of them for a really long time. And, and I'm going to paint more. Like, that's what I do. So it kind of freed me up to do more. So it was very interesting. There were, at least 100 people, and I was left with 1 or 2 paintings, and every other painting sold for some amount. The amounts were, sometimes they were going $12, $14. I sort of did a silent auction format only because how could I choose if more than one person came up to me and said, I want to pay X for this painting? How could I decide, well, okay, you can have it for that? I don't know. So I just had to do a silent auction, not because I was really trying to get people to upbid, but I didn't know how else to kind of do that function. So things went from, let's say, $20 to, $450. What their original prices were before that were maybe from $40 to $3,000 or $3,500, but they were inventory in my storage, as a bookkeeper would say, what is that worth? So it was very interesting. I was able to, raise money, and I'm going to have a nice check to give the symphony, and that makes me feel good, and it was a lot of fun. There are some really happy people with these paintings, and I'm still hearing about it, and they're loving them. So it's now, instead of being in storage, that art is with people who are loving it and are excited to have it, and it's on their walls, and theoretically, a painting will outlast every human. Like you'll die before it, unless you throw it away. It's going to live on to the next person and the next person. So it's got this whole other life going on.
I want to see your work. It's in the magazine?
Yes.
There is some in the magazine, and Jessie Miller is my name. That's the website, jessiemiller.com. There's a bunch of paintings on there if you want to. They're pretty much all gone, so
Jessie,
don't try to buy one.
And Kelly, we need to take a little break.
Okay.
And we'll be right back. I want to hear more. We'll be right back.
Very good.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. For today, times of clouds and sun with a couple of showers and thunderstorms around, high 86 to 90. Partly cloudy tonight. There can still be a shower or thunderstorm near the coast, low 71 to 75. For tomorrow, times of clouds and sun with a shower or thunderstorms spreading from the coast early to farther inland during the afternoon hours, high 87 to 91. For Sunday, clouds and sun with a shower or thunderstorm, high again 87 to 91. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Hello, gorgeous.
Hi, this is Becky at Hello Gorgeous Salon. We are located in the heart of downtown Ocala, right next to the historic Marion Theater. I'd like to invite you to stop by and see our new boutique area and meet our staff of professional stylists. Here at Hello Gorgeous, we are ready to update your look with the latest trends. It's the perfect time to brighten up your look. So make your appointment now for those highlights and Brazilian blowout. But don't stop there. We are a full-service salon offering manicures, pedicures, and facials also. So if you've been searching for a salon to call your own, come and see us at Hello Gorgeous Salon. We are located at 48 South Magnolia Avenue in downtown Ocala, right next to the Marion Theater. So call today and set up your appointment at Hello Gorgeous Salon at 351-5358. That's 351-5358. And don't forget, we also do men and children's cuts too. 351-5358.
Hello, gorgeous.
You've got a garden and we've got a show for you called You've Got a Garden with your host, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Carol Ann answers your questions about your flowers, your veggies, your grass, your trees, even questions about your bugs. And she's only on WOCA, so don't miss Carol Ann Baldwin and You've Got a Garden each Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on WOCA The Source.
Now is the time to take advantage of Florida Credit Union's CD specials. Our 36-month CD comes in at 1.26% APY. A 24-month is working for you at 1.0% APY. And our 12-month at 0.75% APY. All CD rate specials require $10,000 minimum. With friendly service and rates like these, it's not hard to see why Florida Credit Union has your CD options covered. Florida Credit Union, connecting your money to your life. Call 352-237-8222 for more information. Must act by 1/15/14.
Good credits, bad credits. It's none of our business because we're not an auto dealer. We're not a bank. We're not your mother. We're OcalaForSale.com. Marion County's marketplace for cars, trucks, and SUVs. We've got thousands of sellers standing by to take your call. No middleman. But hurry, don't walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to OcalaForSale.com. Prices and inventory change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge. Undercutting, rust-proofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
All
right, 20 minutes after 10 o'clock, I'm trying to share my little thing I knew there about Fine Art America. All right, we're going to continue now with Ocala Magazine Radio. Kelly Hart, of course, is your host, and her guest today, Jessie Miller, the very talented... Where's your art, Kelly? Where do I see your art?
I wish I had more time to act. You know, the thing about it is...
this day job.
We have this day job. Yeah, no, we have this day job. A lot of the art that I do is custom. So people will say, I need this. Can you do this for my child's room? Or it might be something painted on fabric, and then I make it, and then I release it. I don't have an inventory of things, which is, it's a good thing. I appreciate the fact that I don't, but usually
commission artist.
Right about the time it's done, it's just gone. So...
Yeah.
But I have it.
So the new magazine has that as a featured article. Obviously, that's the cover story.
Yes. And we're very excited about the fact that Jessie was able to do that, and it all happened in such good timing. And like she said, there was benefits, charitable benefits, and I think it was also just a really good experience for everybody involved, because the whole idea, I can't think of anything else like it as far as the concept of going into a room of quality product and just knowing that the prices start at nothing and the chance of leaving with something amazing, you know, was a mystery as far as what the price was going to be. And so it was a really different concept.
Can I ask both of you a question? You're both artists.
Yes.
You're both facing that same dilemma. What would you tell a young person, obviously talented in art, about choosing art as a career?
I might have a lot of bitter things to say. I might not. I might have a lot of positive things. I think, so I got into advertising. I went to college. I went to the Art Institute because starving artist is a thing, and I didn't want to be that thing. And so I thought, I'm going to have a day job, and it's going to be more practical, but it's going to be creative. And then, you know, at night, I'm going to paint, and then someone's going to discover me, and I'm going to go to Paris and I'm going to be rich and famous. So my day job just turned out to be fun enough, I guess, that it consumed most of my time, and I never really did the nighttime thing. So if I'm really happy with my day job, I love doing what I do, so I can't really say, had I to do it over, I would do it different. But there is a piece of me that now, as I'm older, and it's not just the big idea of being a starving artist that scares me, I now think I know what I would do to market it and to really do it. And the best way to be successful is to give it your all and not make it a part-time thing. Because I know that I'm good enough, and had that been all I did all those years, you know, when you put enough intention and effort and focus on something and you're good at it, you're going to do well, I think. So, you know, if you're good, if you've really got a thing, if you're kind of individual with your art and it doesn't just look like everything you've ever seen or something, if you've really got something there, can you give it all of your focus, market it, learn marketing, don't just learn art, and paint all the time and market yourself all the time, and I think you can do well. I think there's a lot of different ways that you can succeed that aren't necessarily being Picasso level, but you know, there's a lot of different things that you can do with your art. You can illustrate also, and anyways, so that's what I think. I think if you're really going to do it, then really do it, and otherwise, just know that it's going to be a side hobby thing.
I think a lot of artists are also very diverse. When you're a creative person, there's such a diversity in the things that you're good at creatively. And so I guess my advice to someone who is an artist, let's say their thing was painting and that, you know, but if they're also able to find something on the business end of things that's creative, that allows them to foster that creativity while they're pursuing their passion, to me, that's smart. I mean, the hopeless romantic in me thinks that if you're passionate about something and you really give it your all, then, you know, the stars will line up, and of course you'll be able to fulfill your purpose and be whatever it is that you want to be. The reality of it is there's going to be a process involved in that, and you have to survive somehow. So if you can find something that you're equally passionate about that still really fosters that creativity that you can do to supplement that, or maybe in the meantime, I think at that point you have the best of both worlds. I mean, Jesse and I both have creative jobs. Every day it's something new. We're able to express ourselves. We have a creative outlet. And sometimes I think that even motivates us to be creative personally more so, because we get to work and we're doing creative things, and it almost kind of sparks a fire.
We might really just be obsessively creative people.
It's possible.
We might not be able to stop doing things that are awesome.
Yeah.
It's just too
fun. The brain
but
just never stops igniting in that way.
But you know, when we have the political discussion about arts in the schools and the budgets that cut the art teachers out of the schools, it just drives us nuts, because the people who say we don't need art don't realize that motorcycle that you're driving was designed by an artist.
Don't get me started.
Maybe not the engine, but the look of it, the thing that attracted you to it. You know, you walk into a house that has no art on the walls, and you feel like you're in a warehouse or something.
I will actually say that I believe the number one thing that shapes the world and drives people to do things is art. Whether that art comes in a movie, whether it comes in the media, whether it is on your fashion, whether it's something that you're putting on your wall. But I believe that our emotions are ultimately what drives us, and the politicians use artists, you know, to create propaganda, to create advertising, to create media. It's really all art. And I really think that has the greatest influence on us than anything else. And, you know, especially music and certain things, you know, it's totally in there with intelligence. If you're learning that at a young age, you're going to be more intelligent. It's kind of, and you're going to relate to the world in a better way. You're going to have, you know, so art is supremely important. I would go so far as to say it is the number one driving force that we don't even realize shapes our mind.
I'm sure if you spoke to a mathematician, they would tell you that math isn't everything and math shapes the world. And I'm sure if you spoke, so it's whatever I guess you're passionate about, you see that in everything. And for Jesse and I, we see art in everything. It can be from branding and logos, from a big corporation. We're going to look at a big corporation and not see the numbers behind it, but we're going to see all of the branding and the process that goes into the art side of things, or fashion. I mean, to me, art is in everything.
Do you know what I think the corporate world needs to do? Get rid of that R next to the name. Because that R in a circle is supposed to indicate that it's a registered name and therefore we can't steal it. But some artist put together that beautiful whatever it is, and then you got to make it ugly with an R. You mean to tell me we can't say that's mine without that R?
Not in this world, I suppose.
We need to get rid of that R. It just needs to go.
Also, that comma INC. That's annoying.
Yeah, what the heck is that? do you know what
you get this perfect logo and you have to put ink at the end of it?
I'm just real quickly. I'm from New York, and here's one thing: visitors to New York always know more of the building names than I do. I was like, well, why did you memorize all their names? You only need to know the Empire State Building. So all you need to know. You don't need to know any of the other names. Okay, maybe the World Trade Center. Okay, you need to know those names, but they know all the names. In the art world, same thing. The artists, they don't know Picasso's history. They don't care about that. They don't know. But you go with a non-artist, and they try to one-up you, and they can tell you the guy where he was born, when he got castrated and everything.
Yeah. Well, there are those that study art, and then there are those that do art, and I think that's two totally separate things. I don't know all of my art history.
But you're an artist.
But I'm an artist.
You're an artist, yeah.
And I love the fact that I feel like Ocala Magazine is an art. There's nothing about it, even down to the advertisements and table of contents. Every single part of it is such an art. And I know that we're very blessed to be able to brainstorm and be so creative in the way that we put together and send our product into the community. And if you've not looked at this month's issue, it is our annual arts issue. It's phenomenal. From back to front, the cover is phenomenal. Jesse spent a lot of time on that cover. Chris Red, our photographer, this is a local model. This is not something we've pulled offline.
It's not clip art.
This is yours.
It's a photo we shot of a model, and then we illustrated from it and everything. So it's an illustration and a photograph and a...
And as the month progresses and we do more shows this month, of course, we'll kind of go through the other layers of this particular issue, but it is online, so you can go to ocalamagazine.com and you can see our digital issue and look at all of the different features. It really is an impressive issue. And of course, I have to say this, and we'll say this every Friday for the next year. Ocala Magazine was voted the best consumer magazine in the state of Florida, and we are quite pleased about that, amongst other things. So make sure you like us on Facebook too. Our best of the best voting is happening all month in September.
Right.
There's just a lot of really great stuff going on, and you'll miss it if you don't like us on Facebook.
Kelly Hart, Jesse Miller, thank you, ladies, for coming in. Jesse, as you're talking, your slideshow on your website is passing by. I love that zebra.
Thank you.
Love that zebra.
That's in our office still.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you, Larry.
All right, we'll be right back.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. In South Africa, Olympian Oscar Pistorius cleared of murder but found guilty of culpable homicide in the killing of his girlfriend.
Pistorius has left court and been driven to his uncle's house as a convicted criminal, but with his bail extended until sentencing.
Fox Radio's Paul Tilsley in South Africa, sentencing slated for next month. Authorities